Genesis of the Daleks. This is the second last Tom Baker story. Wow. If you've come to this video thinking that you're going to get a critical analysis of this story, that's not going to be happening. What's going to be happening for the next few minutes is me telling you how bloody awesome this is. This is a 6-part masterpiece of Doctor Who. It has to be one of my favorite stories of all of Doctor Who, including New Who. I am going to review it. If you watch my channel, I use my space system, custom-made space system that I've created. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. We're going to talk about each one. Each category is going to get a score between 0, 2, and 2 is the best you can get. Look, the storyline is 2 out of 2. And I'm not going to go into many details. So these Doctor Who reviews that I've been doing, I'm not doing a critical analysis of any of these stories. There might be some spoilers, there might not be. They're old stories. I'm just going to tell you my quick opinion. I'm not going to get into super details about it. I could just rest assured that this story is bloody awesome. The Daleks exterminate. They're bad guys. I got some right there. They're the scourge of the universe. How are you going to stop them? You can go back in time and stop their creation. That's what the Time Lords want. Doctor, do you want to do that? And it's like, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like a great idea. Well, take Harry and Sarah with you just for coolness. That's the storyline. You're introduced. We're going to get to the characters momentarily. You're introduced with the 2 factions fighting each other. Okay, it's the Khaleds, who are going to be the Daleks. They're in this civil war, basically, or war, and trying to control the planet of Skaro. And you get to meet like both factions, but primarily you're with Davros and like his guys. So Davros is the scientist who is sort of a rogue scientist, but the government kind of tolerates him. But he's trying to develop some sort of new shell or casing, and they figured out that the Khaleds will eventually evolve into these squid-like kind of creatures, which are actually the Daleks, and they're going to need to be protected in some sort of casing. And he's got the bottom half of him, so he's injured pretty badly. Like he's got one mechanical hand, he's got no eyes, he's got a little eye on his head. He's one of the greatest creations. Well, I'm going to talk to characters. I'll leave it at that. The story is great. The Doctor there's a moral dilemma because the Doctor has the opportunity to destroy the Daleks, but does he have the right to do that even? Because they're still living sentient beings. This is kind of the best that you can get with sci-fi, fantasy. I don't know what the answer is. Should you destroy them, right? Everyone keeps saying, oh, if you could go back and, kill Hitler, whatever, would you do it? So anyway, yeah, storyline is 2 out of 2. Now for the pacing, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. Look, it's 6 parts. I guess it could have been a 4-parter and it'd been a little bit tighter with the pacing, but I really feel they needed to develop this a bit more. This is the origin of the Daleks. You can't just do a quick 2 or 3-parter. Even a 4-parter, I guess it could have worked, but I was not bored at all. I was completely engaged for every episode. I love John Pertwee. He's my favorite Doctor. Tom Baker is the best Doctor, but some of the John Pertwee season 1s were like 6-7 episodes. You're like, they didn't really need to be that long. This one, I kind of felt it was justified. So yeah, awesome pacing. The artistry, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. Again, we're comparing this to Doctor Who. Doctor Who's my favorite show. I'm not comparing this to Star Trek, or I'm not comparing this to the A-Team or Dukes of Hazzard or something. It's like, or Battlestar Galactica. Like, like Davros looks awesome. Like everything looks good. The Daleks are great. They look great. Anytime they come on, they do look cool. I don't know what to tell you. The base looks good. They've got the planet. It's not just a rock quarry. There's a lot of different set pieces. There's like the prison area. I don't know. There's some good fights. It looked really good to me. I mean, this is as best as Doctor Who's going to get, pretty much, at least classic Who. Characters, I mean, 2 out of 2. Like, okay, look, Harry Sullivan's awesome. I love him. Sarah Jane, second favorite companion, one of the best companions of all time. Tom Baker's the best Doctor. So there you go. That's easy. Davros is bloody awesome. Okay, look. This guy is one of the coolest villains. Obviously, Darth Vader is the coolest villain. Nobody's questioning that. But Davros is pretty damn good. Like, he's smart. He's insane. He looks awesome. The makeup, the design of this guy, he's badass. I don't know what to say. anytime this guy appears, it's just, he's more awesome than last time. He's so awesome. Like, I bought a few figures of him. I even bought the Funko Pop of this guy just because I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. I really like Davros. He's just one of the coolest. He's probably my favorite villain in Doctor Who. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. Just, and then there's a part where Tom Baker's talking to him, and he's like, oh, if you had like some kind of chemical that could destroy everything, like, would you? He's like, yes, like, to have it in my hand. And he's doing this big monologue. You're like, holy crap. The guy's awesome. Just amazing. The other character is good too. There's a lot of cool scientists here. Some of them are with Davros. There's like a few military guys that are with them. They're like, yeah, we got to take care of stuff. Then there's people like, he's gone kind of crazy. So there's nuanced characters too in this one. It's not just, oh, here's all the baddies. There is a lot of gray to some of the characters, but even there's some goodness to them too. And remember, they're going back and forth a lot too between the factions. So there's good and bad characters on all sides. I really like that in Doctor Who. It's something that does make it a little bit better. Star Trek was always the best at doing these kind of nuanced characters. Doctor Who is slightly more skewed, a bit more fantasy, and in fantasy you don't really have that. Like, there's no conflicted orcs, in Lord of the Rings. Like, maybe we shouldn't do this, So usually Doctor Who skews fantasy, but sometimes it does go sci-fi. And this is a great example. I mean, and an enjoyment factor 2 out of 2. I'm giving this a 10. Obviously, I don't even know what more to say. I'm sure there's someone out there who's done a better video than me about how great this episode is, and it's just definitely one of my favorites of all of Doctor Who, including New Who. I'm judging everything by the story. I'm judging this as a Doctor Who story. I'm not. And maybe there's some Doctor Who episodes that look better in New Who, but the story might not be that good, right? To me, story and character are like the two most important things. If the Daleks can't go upstairs or whatever, this isn't really a concern for me. Plus, they did solve that later anyway, so this isn't a big concern for me, really. I'm looking at like story, dialogue, the characters, and this has it all. That usually determines my enjoyment factor, which is why I'm giving it a 2. So I'm giving this a perfect 10 out of 10, one of the best Doctor Who stories. Normally I'm a bit more critical, and I think I am being critical, to be honest, on this one. I think objectively this is, maybe you'll give this a 9 out of 10. I don't know. So if you do enjoy my space rating system, which is usually more critical than it was on this video, please do like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to do more Doctor Who. Got one more left for our good buddy Tom Baker for season 1, or for his first season, not season 1. And then we're going to do some Peter Capaldi. Okay, let's do some New Who. So I already did John Pertwee's full season 1. I've done Tom Baker's season 1. Let's start working on some Peter Capaldi. I just watched Deep Breath, so we're going to do that one coming up. But one more left of Tom Baker's, and then we're on, and then we're complete. So that's it, everybody. Until next time.